Alright, and here we are. Welcome everyone. My name is Jeff and today we are doing our very first episode of our Dark Souls 1 lore series. So again, greetings everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Let's switch into the game screen right now. This is the first time I'm streaming Dark Souls 1 on the channel, so please let me know if the sound is too much or not. I realize now that I haven't properly set the game's sound. But yeah, here we are. So this is a slow-paced playthrough where we, well, play through the game, reading every item description and trying my best to complete every NPC quest to gather as much content as we can and possibly talk as much as we can about this game's lore, about this game's story. This beautiful game right here. Once again, let me know if everything sounds alright on your end. I couldn't figure out whether I should start with character creation or not, but then I figured, why not, you know? So, this is going to be a faith playthrough. So I am going to start with a knight, and let me just say, right here and there, how much I like this little detail here. All of the classes have short item descriptions, right? I really like this. Thankfully, they returned with this little tradition in Dark Souls 3 and from what I can tell in Elden Ring as well, but it wasn't in Dark Souls 2, sadly. I mean, there is a short class description in the S2, but they are more gameplay focused, if that makes any sense. But here we get a little bit of lore, I feel, for each character. So a knight is a low-ranking knight. High HP, solid armor, not easily toppled. So that basically means we start with good poise. And we are indeed a low-ranking knight. For our gift, we have the Old Witch's Ring. A mysterious ring given to us by a witch. I wonder what it does. And our build will be average because the others look kinda weird, I think. We hail from Tolerund. We are a Tolerund knight, a member of the Way of White. Faith in the world of Dark Souls, which is very, well, faithful to Lord Gwyn. Let's see, our hair is gonna be swept back, I believe. And I would try to go for some color here. Let's see, some good color, I mean. I think light brown should be okay. And I will actually customize the character further. You can't do much with the Dark Souls 1's character creation system, but I will try my best to make something decent here. So I don't think I should mess around with these here too much. Maturity. Can I make us a bit older? Okay. Yeah, our color just changed for some reason. Yeah, this character creation is quite weird. But I will try to mess around with it just a little bit. If nothing, only to show you guys how much you can do with it actually, because it's so difficult to mess around with that people tend not to use it very much, but you can actually do a lot with it. Let's give us a bit of a mean expression. This will increase overall brow height, right? That's okay. Eyebrow density, let's make it dense. We are a bush-browed guy. Eyebrow thickness. Lower brow, outer brow. Interesting. Alright. That's okay for the eyebrow, honestly. I would like to give us a bit of a beard, actually, which is very hard to do in Dark Souls 1, but It is actually possible, let me show you. So I also like to do a very little bit of... I refrain from calling it roleplay, honestly, but... To at the very least think about a backstory for our character, right? Who was our character? And that is actually in our... Here we go, this is the beard. This is actually said in our class description. And we can actually start talking about lore right now. As you guys know, probably, the Way of White, at least during the time of Dark Souls 1, had the habit of sending their clerics into missions, basically to retrieve kindling. Except later we find out that that's actually done to get rid of undead clerics, of undead members of the Way of White who have, well, gone undead, who have turned undead. That happens to Paladin Leroy, who knows how long ago, right? And it eventually happens to Rhea of Tolerund as well, and to her bodyguards. I like to think that something similar happens to our character here. Except we are a low-ranking knight of some lower-class family from Tolerund, right? A minor noble family, basically. So we aren't important enough to be sent on a holy mission to gather kindling. Instead, we just got shipped off to the asylum to rot away, basically, which is why we start at the Undead Asylum. Okay, this looks decent. I mean, as decent as is possible with Dark Souls. Except when I come back, my skin color will be, yeah, extremely pale for some reason. This tends to happen. We just turn into a ghost. So let me try to fix that, and then we should be good to go. Customize entire color tone. Dark? Give us a bit more color. Yeah, there we go. That's slightly better. Okay, that should do it. Alright. So we are back to the game. So yeah, this is our character here. We have to name our guy, right? Can I name myself Sir Antonius? Oh, I can actually. I do have enough space for that. Cool. We are from Tolerund, so I tried to come up with a name which made sense. Welcome to the newcomers. This is the Dark Souls 1 Lorethrough, and we are just about to begin. So I'm not gonna talk too much during the intro cinematic, so we get to enjoy it basically, because it is a good cinematic. But yeah, let's do this. Start the game with this character, yeah.
In the age of ancients, the world was unformed.
I'll take the time to sip my coffee.
Fog. A land of grey crags, arch trees, and everlasting dragons. But then there was fire.
Then there was fire.
And with fire came disparity.
Awesome.
Heat and cold, life and death, and of course, light and dark.
This line never gets old, you know. I never get tired of hearing it.
Then from the dark they came and found the souls of lords within the flame.
They being whatever existed before fire came around, right? The proto-humans are
the first of the dead. The Witch of Izalith and her daughters of chaos.
Pyromancy.
Gwyn, the Lord of Sunlight, and his faithful knights.
Love the Silver Knight armor too.
And the furtive pygmy, so easily forgotten.
The furtive pygmy. May or may not be Manus, as we will see later.
With the strength of lords, they challenge the dragons.
This sword is beautiful, by the way. I think it's the Silver Knight's sword, right?
Winds, mighty gods, peeled apart their stones.
Yeah, kill those dragons.
Witches weaved great firestorms. Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease. And Seath the Scaleless betrayed his own, and the dragons were no more.
Awesome. Awesome cinematic.
Thus began the Age of Fire. But soon the flames will fade.
Check the size of the kingdom though, that's
Only
huge.
dark will remain.
Only dark will remain indeed. Or it should, that's how it should go, right?
Even now, there are only embers.
Except Gwyn didn't let it.
And man sees not light, but only endless nights. And amongst the living are seen carriers of the accursed Darksign.
Some people say that the lady in the cinematic is grabbing an ember and placing it on the corpse in front of her. Which is interesting to think about. Is she like creating an undead right now? Not likely, considering that now we understand what is the curse, right? Cinema,
Yes,
absolutely
indeed.
cinema, yes.
The Darksign brands the undead.
Hello, Mateus, by the way.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north.
Led to the north to rot away.
Where they are locked
Poor guy.
away to await the end of the world.
And this is where we are, chat. Locked away. In the Northern Undead Asylum. There we are.
This is your fate.
Look at this boy. Look at this man. This magnificent man. He's gonna save the world, you know. He doesn't know it yet, but he will. Or, well, depends on what you mean by saving it. Perpetuating the Age of Fire at the very least. What's this? Someone dropped a body in here. Who is that? Cool armor, by the way. Well, better check it out. Poor Sir Antonius, yeah. A knight of the Way of White who turned undead and wasn't important enough to be sent on a holy mission, so he was just silently locked away. I like to think our character is a bit of a fanboy of Paladin Leroy, which should make something quite interesting towards the end of the game. If you know, you know. Most of you know, I assume. But yeah, here we are. We are locked. We can't get out. It's locked. We can't leave. Let's check our items. What do we have here? Straight sword hilt. The hilt of this lost sword was found discarded in the Undead Asylum. Only slightly better than one's bare hands, and not recommended for extensive use. Be certain to find a replacement quickly. I would like to. I'm working on it. And then we have our armor here, which is actually quite good for a starting set. Helm of a lower rank knight. Despite the thin metal used, the grooved texture gives it added protection. Which, slight nerd curiosity there, actually makes sense. The reason why armor has like, well, grooves, you know, it's because it makes weapons slide off of it. In real life anyway. So yeah, there you go. And we also have this mysterious ring, which, if you wanna think about our character's backstory, may or may not be related to why our character was locked away in here. Old ring from an old witch, engraved minutely with indecipherable script, but seemingly useless. It has no effect on our character. I imagine it wouldn't do wonders for a knight's reputation, especially a knight of the Way of White, to be found out having this ring, you know, in his possession, so maybe that's why he's locked away in here. Who knows? Well, that guy dropped a corpse in here, so let's pick it up. Dungeon cell key. What does it say? Opens dungeon to Undead Asylum in the north. Key to the dungeon of the Undead Asylum to the north. A mysterious knight, without saying a word, shoved the corpse down into the cell, and on its person was this key. Who was this knight, and what was his purpose? There may be there may be no answers, but one must still forge ahead. So the game is ushering us to press on, to forge ahead. And, would you believe it, that key opens this door. And just like that, chat, we are free. Just like that, chat. So yeah, before we go, quick disclaimer. I will not be unequipping my armor, okay? Yes, I am fat rolling. I am aware of it. Hello, Deficiency, welcome. Good to see you here, man. But yeah, I will not be unequipping my armor, alright, chat? Embrace the fat roll, is what I say. Could I call myself a knight if I took off my pants for the sake of fast rolling? I don't think so, chat. I don't think so at all. So, let them see. Let them see my fat roll. I will not unequip my armor. Not for now, anyway. I am obviously going to invest points into endurance so we can carry more weight, but for now, let's play around with this, because when do we ever get the chance to do it, right? Oh, and second, veteran players, you might recognize a strange icon under my stamina bar. That's the Dark Souls 1 PvP overhaul. The only reason why I have this installed is because it also comes with a anti-cheat installed in it, which kind of protects me from hackers, basically. So if a hacker enters into my game and tries to mess things up by killing NPCs, I should be protected from that. It doesn't really change anything gameplay-wise, so for all ends and purposes, this is a pure vanilla playthrough. Alright? Alright. So, we are free, we have messages on the ground which teach us how to play. These messages make no sense to me at all because I am playing on a PS5 controller, so yeah, whatever. Attack. I can attack. Not very useful right now. We have some hollow soldiers here. We have this guy who has been absolutely destroyed. He has been thrown into these iron bars here. And there is the perpetrator right there. That big guy over there. We will be seeing more of him, I'm sure. We will find out later that Gwyn enlisted demons to guard certain areas. Demons are not of his creation, of course. They are the creation of the Witch of Izalith. But Gwyn has gained the, well, possession. He has obtained a few demons, you know, and he is enlisting their strength, basically. So let's climb up. Let's see if we can find a way to escape this place. Again, guys, please do tell me if my audio sounds good to you. I should probably lower the volume anyway, just to be safe. Let's leave it on 4 for now. Let me know if my voice isn't clashing too much with the game's audio. Bonfire lit, and that is the first bonfire. Quick question to myself, have I deactivated Steam Overlay? I don't believe I have. Excuse me for a second, chat. I know this is not very professional of me, but then again, I am not a professional. I had not deactivated Steam Overlay, but now I have. Okay, we are good to go. Let me check my microphone real quick. Can you guys hear me? I think you can. I see my microphone moving there. Alright. So hello everybody. Sounds good to me. Alright, good to know. So, we have a door hidden away into this corner here. But it is locked, or rather, it doesn't open from this side. Why can't we just shove our hand in between the bars and open it? I don't know, but let's not think about that too hard. And let's open this door then. I can hear you. All right. Good to know, guys. Thank you. All right, so I will try to play this game as a new player, but how can we say, smart new player, you know, a player who is aware of his surroundings. If you guys look up here, do you guys see it? There is another big guy waiting for us there. But let's pretend we don't see that. Let's just go ahead. What does it say here? Left. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me know. Lots of bloodstains here, so obviously many people fought and died. And there we go. Get away. No way, we're gonna fight. Oh. Let's fight this guy. Face me, creature. Huh. Ow. I have armor. Take that. 1 damage. 3 damage. Amazing. Yeah. Ow. Okay. Change of plans. Tactical retreat. Run. We escaped. We did it. And the door closes behind us, just for good measure. Of course, if we do manage to... fat row. Yeah, like I said, man. I am not unequipping my armor. Not for now, anyway. Embrace the fat row. Medium shields are pretty good in this game, they are indeed, man, so medium row shouldn't be that big of an issue. Yeah, I actually only play medium row, to be honest, because I feel like playing fast row is very limiting, you know? There's so many cool different armor sets in this game, so limiting myself to a fast row kinda cuts off a lot of different armor options, you know? Also, let's sit at the bonfire to recover my health. So yeah, there's no way we can fight this guy for now. We need to get a better weapon first. Get your shield. I would like to. I would like to. Is that an archer? Yes. No, sir. What is this? Tower kite shield. There we go. There is my shield. I would try, yeah. Aha, I can block your arrows. Get back here. You damn coward. And what is this? My broadsword. Alright, now we're talking. Broadswords. The wide blade of this straight sword emphasizes slicing and has no thrust attack. The horizontal sweeping motion makes this sword effective against multiple enemies. Which is kinda true, but ironically, a blade of this shape is actually meant to stab. If you do a little bit of research on real-life swords, right? Because it tapers towards the end. It's very pointy. But for some reason here in this game, it's only a slashing sword. But still. Pretty decent moveset. I will be switching to the longsword as soon as I can. You can't hit me. There you go. Our first enemy. And we get 20 souls for that. Yeah, like I said, I usually just play, you know, medium row. It's kind of a tactical decision, really. Do you go light row, but obviously less defense, or medium row and some pretty decent defense? Because within the limit of medium row, you can stack up some very good defense, actually. You don't have to go fat row to be tanky. And there is a knight there. Suspiciously similar to the knight who gave us the key to our cell. But alas, this gate is broken, we cannot reach him. Backstep and roll. Backsteps which don't have iframes, I should probably try and remember this. In Dark Souls 2 they have, but not on this one. There is no door, or rather, no other door. leading towards this cell here. Also, notice how there is light coming from the ceiling. So it kind of looks like, excuse me, he was thrown in there through the ceiling. And if you do recall, there was a big demon in the ceiling waiting for us. So we can go up, we can go down. Hi Cindy, hello. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We can open this. And this is a shortcut. Amazing. Shortcut unlocked. So if you guys look carefully up there, you can just make out what seems to be a ball. Aha. No sir, no thank you. Well, this is open now. There's the ball. And there is the guy who saved us. Greetings. Doing alright, Cindy. Glad to have you here. Cindy is the artist for our channel, by the way, guys, so be sure to check out her work. This channel's banner, the logo, and a good number of the thumbnails are of her making. So be sure to check her out. But anyway, let's talk to this guy.
Oh, you. You're not Apollo. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I, we're both undead. Hear me out, will you?
So immediately the game is making some very interesting... Man, I completely forgot the word I meant to use. Differences, I guess is the word I'm trying to use here. He calls us undead, both us and him. But he also tells us that we are no hollow, right? So there is a clear difference between an undead and a hollow. And he asks us to hear him out. So, let's hear him.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the Undead Asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
An Estus flask. Alright.
Oh, and this.
Undead Asylum F2 East Key.
Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
I would hate to harm you after death. What an interesting statement to make, right? Well, thank you, my friends. Thank you for your aid, regardless. Can I take your armor, seeing as you're gonna die anyway? This would be a bit rude, wouldn't it? But alright. X to use item, which is actually square for me here, because again, I am using a PlayStation controller. But yeah, he gave us a few items, so the first one being the Estus Flask, which recovers our HP. The undead treasure these dull green flasks, filled with Estus at bonfire, fills HP. The Estus Flasks are linked to the Firekeepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame, and dies to protect it further. Is his name mentioned in the game? Oscar, I believe this is Oscar. Oscar of Astora. We do get his armor set later, which gives us his name too. Quite interestingly, this guy was meant to have a much bigger presence in the game, you know. He was meant to be a ally/rival to our character. And I believe we were meant to fight this guy towards the very end of the game. He would basically choose the opposite option of what we chose at the end of the game, you know. If you choose to link the fire, he would choose to let the fire die, and vice versa. There is like unused dialogue and everything, which is very interesting. But yeah, that's the Estus Flask, and he also gave us another key. This one here, I believe. Key to the iron bars on the east side of the second floor of the North Undead Asylum. The Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world will not be gained easily. So we're gonna have to fight for our freedom, is what the game is saying. Well, let us press on then. And I believe he just died. Yep. Not entirely clear whether he succumbs to his wounds or, well, offs himself, seeing as he would die anyway. First parry. Oh my god. That was embarrassing. Let's try that again. Come on. There we go. Much better. The first of a few gameplay mechanics which were understandably nerfed on the subsequent games, because parrying in this game is OP. And we have used that key to open this door. Kick and jump. So we can kick. We can jump attack. Awesome. Resting at bonfires revives enemies. Alright. Hey sir. No thank you. There's another guy. And there's an archer too. There you are. Filthy archer. Alright then. Another parry, and we got it. Embarrassing. I mean, I have been playing a lot of Dark Souls 2 and the parry timing is just a little bit different. Although it is much easier on this game, so I don't have too much of an excuse. Just a little bit. So, plunging attack. Huh, interesting. The game is teaching us how to do a plunging attack. I wonder if we're gonna use it anytime soon. Traverse the white light. And look who's there. Well, take this. Now that's some damage. Oh, okay, I was not planning to get hit, but I'll give you this one. Dodge. I don't even have to dodge, just strafe and that's enough. Oh. Check the animation on this block, man. Bro, you're missing. How are you missing? How is this man missing? Oh. I love how you get sent flying away, you know. Okay, we did take a little bit of damage on that. He's gonna try to sit on us. And take this. Victory achieved, chat. You have defeated. If you know, you know. And we got a big pilgrim's key and a humanity. I'm really happy that they seem to have brought back the animation you get when you block a huge attack, you know, and you get sent flying backwards. In Elden Ring, I mean. Because it did get removed, sadly, in DS2 and, I believe, 3, if I recall correctly. But yeah, let's chug an Estus, recover our health. And what are these items we just got? We got a humanity. Rare tiny black sprite found on corpses. Used to gain 1 humanity and restored a large amount of HP. I believe all of your HP, actually. This black sprite is called the humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold within ourselves? Interesting. We also have this, which we forgot to read before. The Darksign. The Darksign signifies an accursed undead. Those branded with it are reborn after death, but will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Death triggers the Darksign, which returns the bearer to the last bonfire rested at, but at the cost of all humanity and souls. Alright. So this is not an actual item within our inventory, but more so an actual mark on our character. I believe you can actually kind of see it on our chest. That little... yeah, this is us, by the way. This is our character in hollow form. But that spiral thing on our left, basically, is the Darksign. It is much more visible in Dark Souls 2, actually. Let's put our clothes back on. And we also got a key. Excuse me. Here we go. Big Pilgrim's Key. Opens inner door of the Undead Asylum main hall. Key to the inner door of the Northern Undead Asylum main hall. Big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim. But this chosen undead knows not what the pilgrimage has in store. Ominous. So, we have defeated our enemies and we have gained access to the outside world. We can now escape the asylum. Notice how we still hear footsteps though. Quite an interesting detail which probably escapes a lot of players during their first playthrough. But yeah, this is it. We are now free to explore. Except there doesn't seem to be much out here. Good job, go straight ahead. Alright. Let's do that. But before we do that, let us explore too. Soul of a Lost Undead. So these are just soul items, right? Used to acquire souls, yeah. Soul of a Lost Undead who has long ago gone hollow. Souls are the source of all life, and whether undead or even hollow, one continues to seek them. I did make a... did create, I guess, a theory that the true power of humans is actually to absorb souls, you know? And the reason why we can level up in these games is because we are hollowing, so our true form is coming to the surface. I've never seen that item, wow. You mean the Darksign? It's in your inventory, from the very start of the game. Both in DS1 and 2, and I believe in 3 too, in all games. But yeah. Be sure to check that theory out, it's on the channel. It's called the True Power of Humanity or something like that, I believe. But yeah, let's go straight ahead and let's see what happens.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be taken